Following interventions by the government, all staff have now been able to leave the offices. Some protesters remain outside, and as we've said, we'll continue to monitor developments about them.
All of them?
Yeah.
I mean, the minister, Wirawansa, he's the one who 6 days ago threatened to do just this. From this podium, you said it was an individual statement and that an apology might be forthcoming from the Sri Lankan government. I guess, what changed? What was the basis of saying it was an individual threat when he's the leader of a party that's part of the government?
Well, we've received certain public statements from the government at the very highest levels, including, by the way, yesterday from the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, who met with Neil Buna, the resident coordinator that we have in Sri Lanka. So we've received reassurances and clarifications. They've repeatedly said that that although they have a coalition government and there are certain parties in the coalition that have had differing views, that the government of Sri Lanka is very clear in its support for UN staff, and that the government will try to ensure the security of UN staff. So we had been taking those assurances, but at the same time we take this quite seriously, and anything that hinders the movement of staff is a serious concern, and we are trying to make sure that the government will honor its commitments to make sure that our work can be carried out without hindrance.
On that, what do you make of the report by Reuters that Mr. Wirawansa, when the police were trying to allow the staff to get out, called presidential brother Gotabaya Rajapakse, and the police then stopped trying to let the UN staff out? That was carried by Reuters. They said that they witnessed the call and that Gotabaya Rajapakse was put on to speak to the police, and they stopped assisting UN staff. And I guess, are you going to see if that's true? Because that's one of your interlocutors.
Like I said just a second ago, that the interventions from the government did allow all staff to be able to leave the offices. So the bottom line is that the staff who we wanted to get out of the building have in fact gotten out of the building. I don't know about the precise details about this call, but certainly we are trying to make sure that all government officials, and indeed the police, are abiding by their commitments to ensure the safety of UN staff. As far as that goes, we've always made clear that we respect the right to protest, but our main issue is that UN offices should not be blocked, and our access, that of visitors, and our work should be allowed to continue unobstructed.
What preparations were made from the threat of last week to the incident that took place today, given that they were able to barricade the staff in and basically hold it hostage, as Mr. Wirawansa said, for an entire day?
We had actually been in touch with government officials repeatedly over the course of recent days, and like I just mentioned to you, just yesterday, Neil Buna did speak with the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, who had at that point stressed that the government would abide by its obligations to ensure our security. Obviously, what happened today is different from those assurances, and that's why we're going to try to continue to make sure that they understand fully the need for us to carry out our operations.
Can you imagine the Secretary General? I mean, it seems like it's a pretty unprecedented situation in terms of UN staff. Is the Secretary General considering speaking to Mahinda Rajapakse, or are you going to leave it at the level of the resident representative talking to a non-Rajapakse?
We're speaking at fairly senior levels. At this stage, I don't have anything to say about the Secretary General making any such calls related. Yes, Mr. Abadi.
Thank you, Farhan. You indicated several times that the Sri Lankan government has given, or officials have given assurances and made commitments not to interfere with the free movement of staff in and out of their quarters. Have these assurances and commitment made orally or in writing, and if they were not in writing form, why didn't the UN insist on that?
As far as I'm aware, most of these commitments were made orally. However, as you know, everywhere the United Nations operates, they operate on the basis of agreements with the host country, and those are written agreements. Yes?
The head of